The internet can only handle so many bright colors at once. I think I'm using up your quota too.
AI is really beneficial to those processes because you are accumulating knowledge.
The information gathering is maybe the easiest to sort of think about how AI would fit in.
I love going to clients and, articulating a vision, being strategic, solving new and hard problems. Given that you and I think both believe that the advent of these tools is going to increase the amount of work that can get done, that over time, you're still going to need to backfill those jobs and you're still going to require the B's and the C's in the door. And given that the agents and the tools have gotten so sophisticated, you can take a B player and you can make them in many ways, I wouldn't say be an A player, but they can certainly take on the qualities of an A software developer.
Okay.
So
all right.
that's my thought. Maybe I'm wrong. Don't know.
No, I think I'm willing to buy that. But it's maybe one thing we'll see though is where will those say B grade software developers who, get amplified into an A because they're using AI, where will they work? Will they work in an IT department, or will they be the citizen developers working in a business organization of tomorrow?
Right.
That's the other interesting question.
No, I think that's a fair point. You're absolutely correct. And I mean, the interesting thing, though, is the article, this is not cutting across just software development. It's cutting across, I think, a wider swath of individual, of jobs that are out there. And what is the broader impact going to be, certainly in the short term, for those that are coming out of universities, and what do they do? And, it's like when I'm asked, from a college grad, what do I do? I'm like, always diversify your experience, diversify what you're learning. Don't focus on one thing. I mean, that's going to give you some longevity. But I actually don't really have a lot of great answers, and I think it's remains to be seen where this is all going to turn into.
It's going to come full circle. The most valuable, and I say this only quasi tongue in cheek, the most valuable major might turn out to be philosophers. In other words,
kidding aside,
that's the one thing that humans still do currently, at least, that AI is not able to do, right? We think creatively, constructively, we ponder the meaning of life around us, etc. Maybe the path forward for students will be to be a little bit of a philosopher, be a generalist in some way with broad knowledge and the ability to link ideas.
Right. Well, so you bring up an incredible, I think, valid point where most curriculums these days, and even back when I took my engineering curriculum and science curriculum, I took very little in the way of liberal arts. Now, naturally, I read a lot. I read a lot of anyway, so I've self-taught a lot of different things that I didn't learn in school, including philosophy, and I read lots of literature. I was always keen on diversifying my background, but that's not taught in college inherently. Most curriculums don't capture that. They don't cover liberal arts, and liberal arts, I think, programs for years have just been I don't say not well invested in, but it's not part of a core engineering. And I really think now more so than ever, that is incredibly important to have that included, given these tools are so communications driven and English driven, and you need the capability to communicate and think well, that augmenting a engineering major with those skills is really important. What do you think? You're more of a liberal arts major than I am.
Sorry, isn't it ironic though that the people who are least equipped to communicate with AI models these days might be the people who actually spent their whole careers preparing to be software engineers?
It's funny, actually. I know. It comes full circle.
Yep.
Who knows what his journey is going to lead us? It's going to be interesting. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy this podcast, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to us over on YouTube. And make sure to stay up to date with us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify as well.